Hello everybody, my name is Abby Smith and I'm gonna show you how to do this siren makeup tutorial. I'm super excited about it. This has been a lot of fun for the past week. It's definitely kept me entertained. So you're gonna wanna start with a clean face, a freshly washed face, and a freshly moisturized face. And then you're gonna wanna make sure all of your makeup brushes are clean. Because if they're not, it's going to be a lot of trouble for you and it's going to make your colors a little bit muddy and harder to blend out. If you're in a hurry and don't have all day to wash them and let your makeup brushes dry, you can use a blow dryer on them after washing them. I just use some like Dawn dish soap usually, and that's how I clean them out, and it works amazing. So without any further ado, let's get started. After moisturizing, I'm going to go and use a primer. This is the NYX Bear With Me primer. This is great for dry skin. If you have oily skin or kind of combination skin, I'll send a better primer for you guys because this one might be a little too heavy. But basically, this keeps your makeup in place for longer. So since you guys will be out in the field and probably sweating a lot, this would be great and help it stay in place. Okay, and then I'm gonna start with some concealer. This is a Sephora brand concealer in Bavarian Cream. You'll definitely want to use a concealer that's a little bit lighter than your skin tone because that's it's almost making your eyes like a blank canvas for the colors to go on smoothly and brighter. And I just blend that out with my finger. You'll also want to do this in tutorial, or you want to do this look in clothes that you don't care about because it will get everywhere. Okay, and now I'm going to use this little dome brush here, and then using my James Charles palette, I'm gonna go in with this pink color here. And that color is called Love That. And I'm just going to put that in my crease here. After you've laid that down, you can go in with the blending brush and then just kind of do like a windshield wiping motion to blend that out. It'll save you a lot of trouble, like I said, if your brushes are clean. Okay, and then I'm gonna go in with the color, this little purple one right here. It's called Single. Just do the same thing. One of my favorite things to say is when in doubt, blend it out. So if it's not looking the way it's supposed to, honestly, you probably just need to blend it some more. You can never have too much of that. Blending that out. Now, usually it takes time to kind of build up the color that you want, the color pigment. Um, you always want to add more product though, like you want to do it slowly, because if you pack all of that on there at one time, it's going to be too much and it's way harder to take product off than it is to put more back on. So just keep that in mind. And then with that same concealer I used earlier on my eyes, I'm just going to take a small little skinny flat brush, and then I'm gonna dip it in the concealer tip right there. Use very little at first, and like I said, build it up if you need to. And then I'm just gonna very carefully carve out a shape. This is gonna take some practice, and take your time with it. Go slow if you need to, but you're just gonna want to follow the shape of your natural lid here, and I'll just kind of show you what that looks like. And I'm very light-handed with it right now. It's just gonna take practice to get there. You probably, the first time you do this makeup look, it may not come out perfect, but I mean, it took me, this is my 4th time before I actually was super satisfied with the results, so. Just very light-handedly carving out that shape. And see, if you kind of have like a little bit of like unevenness there, there's a little trick I have for you to fix that. You just go back in with the Love That color that I started with earlier, and you just take it and kind of go over where your concealer spread where it wasn't supposed to. And then I usually do this step anyways, just to make those pigments strong. And then again, you're gonna go in with this brush and then blend it out. Same brush I've been using this whole time, pretty much, I think, yeah. Perfect. Oh yes, and you'll also definitely want to get a headband. I'll link where to get this cute little mermaid one. Well, I got it at Michael's, but and then I'm gonna go in with this little fluffy brush here. And then I'm gonna take the color Escape, which is gonna be this really pretty dark purple color. And then when you dip it, guys, this is actually a good tip. When you dip your brush, don't go in there and swirl it around, because that's gonna get way too much product and it's just gonna be everywhere. It's gonna be a mess. So I just go in and I pat it. So I'm just gonna focus this dark color on the outer edge of my eye. And we're just packing that in. Same with the other eye, we're just packing it in. And then I'm gonna take this brush here and I'm gonna go in with this blue color. And that one is called Playground. Playground, yeah. And then I'm just gonna put that right next to that dark purple that we just sat down. And then after that, I'm just gonna take the same blending brush and just marry those two together. Same with the other eye. And I'm just still gonna build up that pigment a little bit. And then we're gonna just rebuild the pigment on that corner there. And as far as like the motion I'm doing, I'm just very softly doing this. Usually everything you do with makeup is just gonna be very light-handed. So, all right, so now onto the glitter portion. I'm just going to take my NYX glitter glue if I can find it. I just had it. That moment when you realize it was literally in your hand. It's been a long day. I need a nap. Okay, so I'm just taking a small amount of glue, about like that. And I'm just going to kind of carve it into the inner corner of my lid. Kind of like how we did the concealer. And you're just going to pack it on a little bit at a time. You should feel like kind of like a wet feeling on the whole area that you have applied your glue. That's how you know you have enough. And you can even use that glue to kind of blend it back into the blue, just very lightly. Do the same to the other eye. Just kind of carving it out. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix the NYX glitter in 06. It's just a silver glitter. It's loose. And then this one is like a foil kind of glitter. It's beautiful. This one is called Happy Hippie. And then what I'm gonna do, whenever you open your glitters, guys, be sure to open them upside down. That'll keep from the mess being as bad. It's gonna be a little messy no matter what, but... And then if you want to add glitter into your little tub here, you just kind of poke it in there. And the same, since I'm mixing it, so you want to open it upside down. And then I'm just going to do the same with this one. Honestly, this one kind of, dispensing it kind of sucks So if you don't have to do this, don't. But I just went ahead and took off that whole lid there so I can actually dump it in there. So just be very careful with it because it's gonna be very messy. Okay, so now that I have my glitter mixed up about like that much green into silver, I'm gonna take that same little flat brush that we used to apply the glue. And the reason why is because the glitter will kind of adhere. It'll stick to the flat brush since it still has a little bit of leftover glue on it. And I'm just going to pat that color in, kind of sticking to the same shape that we put in with the concealer in the glue. And to blend it out into this portion, I'm just kind of patting it. You can even use your finger just a bit. And then I'm gonna do the same to the other. Just patting that pigment in. Okay. I'm pretty satisfied with that. So usually after glitter, what I will do is I'll just kind of take a look at my eye makeup and think, is it, you know, the intensity that I want it? And if not, I go in and kind of adjust. And then I also ask myself, is it blending the way I want it? And if the answer is no, then I go back in and kind of adjust some things. So I'm going to go back in with that blue we put right here. And I kind of want that to blend more into the green. So I'm just kind of putting a little more in there. And lightly diffusing that out. And then where I want it to transition, I'm just patting my brush. Not really dragging a whole lot, just patting. And then I'm noticing too, I just want more like pop where my crease is with the purple. Beautiful. Okay. So lastly, I'm just gonna go in with this color, the second from the left. It's like a shimmery kind of highlight color. This one's called Ring Light. I'm just going in and patting my brush down. And then I'm putting it on my brow bone there. Okay, so now that we're pretty much done with the eyeshadow portion, I'm going to move on to the foundation. Now you can either dispense this out onto your hand. I'm using the Tarte face tape. You don't need very much, like not even a full pump. Honestly, usually I can get away with a half pump or close to that. But I'm putting it on this silicone sponge so that's less messy. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take that and I usually just start very small and build my way up like usual. So I'm going to take my beauty blender, and by the way, I always soak it a little bit underneath the sink. I get it wet and I squeeze it out so that it's kind of bouncy. It'll help to blend out your foundation better. And it'll just give it more of like a natural look. And with the Beauty Blender, I'm just patting. I'm not dragging it into the skin. You gotta be like aggressive with your face. Gotta be mad at it. And then I usually just put a little bit in the corners because for whatever reason, these places are often missed in foundation application. So, and if you don't know what your matching foundation shade is, if you go to Ulta, they'll help you out. But a good way to tell is to, instead of trying to match the foundation to like your wrist, you're going to want to match it to your neck, because a lot of times your neck and your wrist color are different. So there's just a little bit of glitter right there. There we go. Okay, so now that we've got that all good and blended out, I'm gonna go in with that concealer, and I'm just going to conceal underneath my eye. And I'm just going to kind of pat that in with my finger a little bit to kind of set that in. Then just kind of finishing it off with the Beauty Blender to get that blended out nice. And then I go in with a translucent powder. This one is the HD finishing powder from NYX. And this is just gonna lock in your concealer so that it doesn't cake and doesn't move around. Perfect. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to take my Eco Tools brush. You could probably, so that you don't have to get another brush set, actually we'll just stick with the rose gold ones. You could use the same flat brush we were using with your crease, and I'm gonna take that dark purple that we put on this outer corner, and then I'm just gonna stick it underneath my eye and kind of smudge it out. And then I'm gonna flip this to the other side where there's not really product on it, and then I'm going to use this hot pink color on the end there called Skip. That's a cute name. And then I'm just going to put that right underneath that purple, kind of smoke it out a little. Okay, and then with this brush that we used to pick up the blue with, you can reuse blush or brushes after putting shadow on them. It's just, if you do, you want to do the darker color after you put your blue on there, because I'm going to put a little bit of black on this brush, and obviously it's hard to go back from dark colors. So I'm just going to stick that right underneath my lash line, and that's going to kind of give it a little bit more drama. Just very gently kind of smudging that down there. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, we are done with the eyeshadow part. So this is the part where it gets kind of crazy, guys. So I just took some fishnets and like tied the legs, right? And this is gonna be a little crazy, but just bear with me here. Let me make sure your hair is pushed back really well before you put this on. So, yep, all right. Beautiful. And now that I feel like I'm about to go commit a felony, and you're gonna want to kind of keep it in place like that. And yeah, here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with that dark purple color that we put on the outer edge of our eye. If you have darker skin, here, actually, let me help you guys out. If you have darker skin, you can go in with some concealer where you really, in the areas that we're going to be putting color, which is going to be on the forehead, and then on the contour, and then on the neck, okay? So here's just an example. So say I just want some color here. I'm just going to take that concealer and apply that there. It doesn't need to be super blended out, really, because I mean, you're going to be putting color over it. Anyway, so back to committing a felony. Make sure your hair is nice and tucked away. Okay. That's about as tucked away as it's going to get, which is totally fine. So keep in mind that the more you stretch out your fishnets, like the larger the scales are gonna look. So anyways, I'm gonna go with that dark purple color. If you have darker skin, you can use the shimmery purple. It'll be more iridescent and easy to show up. And also make sure that it's on fairly straight. Okay. So I'm not moving it around because that's gonna move your fishnets around. And I'm just patting that color in. Hold up. I'm just getting it back to where it was. I kind of moved it. Don't be like me. Okay. Now on this side, I want this side to be more blue. So I'm going in with that really vibrant blue color that we put on before. You're gonna want to do a better job than I am of keeping my hair out of my way. It's really tough having bangs. It's a struggle. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that blue and just do it all the way down. Just patting it in, building up that beautiful blue color. And this is where we're gonna make our contour too. So like right where the ear is, like, or the, yeah, like right where the ear is, you're just gonna kind of blend down. Okay. So to get really like fun and creative with it, I'm gonna go in with this lime green color. It's called Social Blade. And I'm just gonna put it right underneath the blue. And this is just gonna add some like neat dimensions to it so it doesn't look flat. I'm gonna put it underneath too on my contour here. And then I'm just gonna continue this purple down. And then for this side, to kind of give it more dimension like the other side, I'm going to go in with the hot pink color called Skip. And then I'm just going to tap that in. And then I'm going to put that underneath the contour again on this side. And then I'm going to be using this palette for the highlights. It's the Galaxy Chic, which you can also get at Ulta. And with the brush I used for the blue and the green, I'm going to go in, I can't really point to it because I don't want to let go of that, but I'm going to go in with Electra, and then I'm just going to put that on the highest point of my cheekbone. And then on the purple side, I'm going to use Cosmic and kind of mix it with the Milky Way, the top two purple colors right there, and that's going to act like a highlight for the other side as well.